Nobody thought Amy would ever fall in love again, not after losing Ty, the love of her life. But season 19 has thrown a surprise no one saw coming. A new man, Nathan, has quietly stepped into Amy's life. And now fans are wondering, could Amy be headed toward marriage again? Asterisk after years of heartbreak, single motherhood, and a quiet life on the ranch. Amy Fleming seemed like someone who had closed her heart for good. Her love story with Ty was powerful, and when he died, something inside her broke. Viewers saw her go through grief, silence, and long days of just being strong for Lyndy, her daughter. She didn't smile the same way anymore. She didn't let anyone in. Heartland became a story not about romance, but about healing, rebuilding, and quiet strength. For several seasons, Amy stayed away from love, and most fans respected that choice. But then came Nathan. At first, he was just another face in the crowd, a kind man who came to help around the ranch. He didn't try too hard, he didn't flirt. He wasn't flashy. He just listened, he worked hard, he understood horses. And slowly, Amy started talking to him, first about ranch duties, then about her past, and then about things that hurt. Fans started to notice the shift in Amy. Her face softened around him. She started laughing again, even if just a little. The two of them began spending more time together, not just because of work, but because it felt natural. And that's what made the whole thing feel so real. There was no dramatic confession, no sudden kiss, just a quiet connection that kept growing episode by episode. Season 19 doesn't scream romance, but it whispers it. In small moments, in meaningful glances. In the way Amy stands just a little closer to Nathan. In the way Lyndy smiles when he's around. And now, fans are asking the big question, could Amy really be falling in love again? Is Nathan just a friend or something more? The writers of Heartland have always been careful with Amy's journey. They know how much Ty meant to her and to us. But they also understand life goes on and healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means learning to feel again. And maybe, just maybe, Nathan is helping Amy feel something she thought she lost forever. The LATEST episodes show Nathan and Amy working side by side on a new project involving troubled horses. This brings back memories of how Ty and Amy first bonded. It's almost as if the show is giving fans a mirror showing us how love can start again, even in unexpected ways. And what's even more shocking is how natural it feels. The chemistry isn't forced. It's gentle, real, honest, but is Amy really ready to move on? Is Nathan the man who can stand beside someone still carrying deep scars? And what about the family? Do they see what's happening? As the season builds, the signs are becoming clearer. Something big might be coming, and it could change Amy's future forever. Asterisk Amy didn't just lose a husband, she lost her best friend, her partner, her safe place. When Ty died, it was like a part of her soul left too. For so long, Amy lived in quiet pain. She smiled for her daughter, she worked the ranch, and she tried to move forward, but inside she was frozen. Her heart had shut down. Even when others around her healed, dated, or remarried, Amy stayed still like the world kept moving, but she didn't dot in those early seasons after Ty's death. Every corner of the ranch reminded her of him. The barn, the loft, the river, they had memories everywhere. And when people tried to comfort her, she just nodded and said she was okay. But everyone could see she wasn't. She stayed busy with horses, with helping others, because helping others was the only way she knew how to survive her own pain. Time passed, but even then, she avoided anything that looked like romance. If someone new came around, Amy kept a distance. Not because they were bad people, but because no one could be Ty, and maybe deep down, she felt loving someone new would mean forgetting him, and Amy would never do that. Ty's ghost wasn't haunting her, it was protecting her. Or at least, that's what she believed. Lyndy was her focus. Every day, Amy poured herself into raising her daughter. She wanted to be strong for her, to be enough. She didn't want Lyndy to grow up missing more than she already had, and Amy was proud of that strength. But being strong all the time, it wears a person down. Fans could see it in her eyes, in the quiet scenes when no one was looking. Amy was tired of holding everything in. But she didn't know how to let go. So when Nathan entered the picture, viewers didn't expect anything. He was just a helper, a kind man doing his job. But the difference with Nathan wasn't what he said, it was how he listened. He didn't try to fix Amy, he didn't push her to move on. He didn't treat her like someone broken. He just stood beside her. And that was something Amy hadn't felt in a long time, someone simply being there. This new presence didn't erase Ty's memory. In fact, it made Amy remember him more, but in a softer way. She didn't flinch when his name came up. She started sharing old stories again. She even told Nathan about Ty, not like she was stuck in the past, but like she was honoring it. And that's how healing begins, not with forgetting, but with remembering in peace. The showrunners have been careful. They didn't rush Amy into anything. There's no big romance yet, but viewers can tell something is changing inside her. In season 19, Amy looks at life differently. She isn't just surviving anymore, she's starting to live again. Not fully, not loudly, but in small, brave steps, and maybe that's the most powerful part of her journey. That a woman who once closed her heart is now opening it, not for a replacement, but for a new kind of love. One that doesn't erase the past, but builds on top of it. And that's why fans are starting to believe this. Amy might just be ready. Ready to love again. Ready for someone like Nathan. He didn't ride into Heartland like a hero. He didn't charm everyone with big speeches or grand gestures. Nathan came in quietly, more of a shadow than a spotlight. At first, fans barely noticed him. Just another worker helping around the ranch, someone dependable and polite. But now, he's at the center of one of the most unexpected storylines of season 19. Nathan isn't loud. He doesn't fight for attention. He listens more than he talks. And maybe that's why Amy started noticing him. After years of pain and noise, Nathan brought something different: peace. He understood animals and he respected the land. But more than that, he seemed to understand Amy without needing to ask too many questions. So who is Nathan? According to his backstory, he's a trained horse handler who spent years working on remote ranches. He's had a few rough chapters in his life, including the loss of his own brother in a tragic accident. That pain changed him. It made him softer but not weak. He doesn't talk much about his past, but when he does, it's clear he's been through things most people wouldn't survive. And that's where the connection with Amy really begins. It's not just about horses, it's about shared silence, shared loss. Nathan isn't trying to fix her because he knows you can't fix grief. You can only carry it together. The first time viewers saw them laugh, really laugh, it was during a quiet moment by the stables. No music, no slow motion. Just two people standing in the sunlight, smiling because it felt safe again. Jack saw it too. His eyes followed Nathan closely in those early scenes. Not with suspicion, but with quiet caution. Jack has always been Amy's protector. And he knows Amy doesn't need rescuing, she needs someone steady. And Nathan? He checks every box, calm, grounded, honest. When Jack gave him that small nod in episode 5, fans knew it meant something. Even Tim, who's usually skeptical of any man around his daughter, didn't push back. In fact, he opened up to Nathan during a scene about old regrets. That trust doesn't come easy from Tim, but Nathan earns it, not with words, but with time. And that's what makes his presence so believable. He's not forcing anything. He says, just showing up? Again and again. The most powerful part of Nathan's character isn't his story, it's how he fits into everyone else's. He doesn't take over. He doesn't try to be Ty. He simply becomes part of Heartland as if he was always meant to be there. When he works with the horses, viewers can see a natural bond. When he talks with Lyndy, there's a kindness in his tone. And when he looks at Amy, there's something deeper: respect, understanding, and maybe love. Fans on social media are already picking sides. Some are still loyal to Ty's memory and feel it's too soon. Others say Nathan is exactly what Amy needs. Not a replacement, but a new chapter, one she deserves. The writers have given Nathan room to grow slowly, and it's paying off. With every episode, the audience sees more of him. Not just his skills, but his heart. And now, with the season building up, One thing is clear: Nathan is no longer just a side character. He's becoming something more. Maybe even the man who could ask Amy the question no one ever expected her to answer again. Asterisk. There wasn't one big kiss, no dramatic music, no candlelight confessions. But something shifted, something small, something real. It happened in a scene most viewers didn't expect to mean so much. Amy and Nathan were working with a troubled horse. The horse had been abused, scared of everyone, even Amy, but Nathan didn't try to control it. He just stood still, calm and quiet, and Amy watched him, not just how he handled the horse, but how he carried himself. That was the moment something changed. From then on, everything between them felt different. The way Amy smiled when she saw Nathan, the way he stood a little closer than before. The silence between them no longer felt empty, it felt full. Full of things neither of them could say out loud yet. But the audience felt it. The air around them had changed. This wasn't just friendship anymore. This was the beginning of something deeper. It wasn't about passion or wild attraction. It was about connection, understanding, healing. When they talked about horses, they were really talking about themselves, about pain, about learning to trust again. In one scene, Nathan gently told Amy, "Sometimes the ones who've been hurt the worst are the ones who need the most patience." He was talking about the horse. But he was looking at her. And Amy looked back. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. Her eyes told the story. For the first time since Ty's death, she let someone see her, not just the strong rancher or the perfect mother, but the woman who still carried wounds. That scene didn't end with a hug or a touch. It ended with them standing in the stall. Together, silent and safe. Fans exploded online. Tweets, Reddit threads, and TikToks all asked the same question. Was that the moment Amy fell for Nathan? Some said, yes. Others said she was just starting to open up. But either way, everyone agreed. Chemistry was undeniable. Even the horses seemed to sense it. Then came the dinner scene. Jack had invited Nathan to eat with the family after a long day's work. It was simple potatoes, stew, nothing fancy. But Amy cooked a little more than usual. She laid out an extra plate before Jack asked. And when Nathan walked in, she smiled like it wasn't just polite, it was something she looked forward to. At the table, Lyndy asked Nathan a question. Are you staying for breakfast too? Everyone laughed, but Amy didn't look away. She blushed. These small moments kept building. One after another. In the barn, Nathan placed his hand over Amy's. Briefly, while reaching for tools, she didn't pull away. At the fence line, they talked about future projects, but their eyes kept drifting to each other. Amy even opened up about Ty in a new way, not as someone she lost, but as someone who helped her become who she is. And then came the scene that sealed it for many viewers. A storm hit the ranch, loud thunder, crashing winds. Horses were scared. Amy ran out to calm them, and Nathan followed. Together, soaked in rain, they calmed every horse side by side. When it was over, they stood in the barn doorway, drenched, breathing heavily. And Nathan whispered, "You're not alone, Amy, not anymore." She looked at him, tears mixed with raindrops. And for a moment, it felt like time stopped. No kiss, no promise. Just a closeness that couldn't be denied. That night, fans knew something had changed forever. Amy was still Amy, strong, quiet, guarded, but her walls had cracks now. And Nathan was standing right at the edge, not pushing, just waiting. Waiting with patience, with understanding. And maybe with love. Children notice things adults often miss. And in season 19, it's Amy's daughter Lyndy who quietly becomes the heart of the story. She watches everything: Amy's small smiles, Nathan's careful kindness, and the way the ranch feels just a little warmer when he's around. Lyndy doesn't say much at first, but her actions speak loudly. She chooses to walk beside Nathan. She asks him questions. And when he answers, he always lowers his voice, like he knows a child deserves respect, not just attention. There's a scene where Lyndy brings Nathan a drawing. It's a simple sketch, stick figures of herself, Amy, and a third person that fans quickly realize is Nathan. When Amy sees it, she goes silent. Her hand lingers on the page. She doesn't know how to respond. It's innocent, it's sweet, but it's also a mirror. Lyndy already sees Nathan as part of their little world, and children don't fake feelings. If she feels safe with him, it means something. Jack notices too. He watches Nathan closely, like a man who's seen too many people come and go. Jack's role in Amy's life has always been more than just grandfather. He's been her anchor. So when he sees her opening up, he's cautious, but he also knows Amy's stronger now. When Jack walks up to Nathan one morning and hands him a coffee, without saying a word, it's not just about the drink. It's quiet approval. Tim is different. His emotions are louder, more reactive. He's still protective of Amy, always watching for danger. When Nathan first appeared, Tim stayed at a distance. But over time, even he began to see what the others were starting to feel. In a recent episode, Tim confides in Jack, saying he's not tied, but maybe that's okay. For Tim, that was huge. It wasn't acceptance, not yet, but it was a beginning. Lou, on the other hand, wastes no time addressing the elephant in the room. She corners Amy in the kitchen, arms crossed, and asks directly, "Is this going somewhere?" Amy hesitates, then shrugs. "I don't know," she replies. Lou softens. "You're allowed, you're allowed to be happy." That line hit hard, not just for Amy, but for the audience. Because everyone wants her to be okay, but happiness? That's a different level. That's a future. Even Katie, Lou's daughter, joins the quiet support. In one episode, she tells Lyndy, "I think Nathan likes your mom," and Lyndy smiles. Not shy, not confused, just happy. Because to her, it all feels normal, natural, safe, and that kind of reaction from a child can't be forced. It only comes when someone makes the world feel a little better. What's beautiful about these family dynamics is how they unfold slowly, no big fights. No dramatic warnings, just honest concern, followed by gradual acceptance. The people who love Amy most start to see that this isn't about replacing Ty, it's about moving forward gently and carefully. And the more they see Nathan, the more they trust him. Because he's not pushing Amy, he's simply walking beside her. At the heart of it all is Lyndy. She's the bridge between the past and the future. Her comfort with Nathan, her innocent joy when he's around, it all paints a clear picture. Amy isn't the only one healing. Her daughter is too. And sometimes children sense the truth long before adults can admit it. So now the stage is set. The family is no longer on edge. They're watching, waiting, and maybe even hoping. If Nathan truly is the one, then Amy won't be walking into this next chapter alone. She have her family behind her, and her daughter leading the way. It started as a blink and you miss it moment. Nathan was standing near the barn, his hand sliding something small and shiny into his coat pocket. The camera didn't zoom in. No dramatic music played. But fans saw a glimpse of something golden. A ring? That single moment set social media on fire. Could it be? Was Nathan planning something bigger than anyone expected? As soon as that episode aired, fans began rewatching every scene, looking for signs they might have missed. And suddenly things started adding up. Nathan had been quieter than usual lately. He'd been talking more with Jack and Tim behind closed doors. There was a moment when he was alone with Jack, and Jack asked him, "You sure you're ready for something like this?" Nathan only nodded, saying softly, "I've never been more sure of anything." The next day, Nathan took Lyndy out to feed the horses. It wasn't unusual, he'd done that before. But this time, he bent down to her level and said, "Do you like surprises?" She giggled and nodded. And fans instantly started guessing. Was he asking for her blessing? Was he planning to talk to Amy that night? That evening, Amy stood on the porch alone, watching the sun go down. Nathan joined her, quiet as always. They didn't say much, just shared the view. But when Amy turned to him, her voice was barely a whisper. "Whatever this is, I'm scared." Nathan looked at her, not with pity, but with something much deeper. "Me too," he replied, "but I'm still here." Then came the mid-season finale, a family dinner. Everyone was there, Jack, Lisa, Lou, Tim, the kids. Amy sat beside Nathan, smiling more than usual. Lyndy leaned against her, looking sleepy, but peaceful. And then, just as dessert was being passed around, Nathan stood up. He raised his glass and said, "There's something I want to say." The screen cut to black. No answer. No reveal, just silence. And the words, "to be continued." The entire fanbase lost its mind. Was that a proposal? Was he going to ask Amy to marry him in front of everyone? Or was he just going to express how much she and the family meant to him? The mystery left. Fans begging for answers. The Heartland writers are known for subtle build-ups and emotional storytelling. They don't rush big moments, they earn them. So if this really is leading to a proposal, it would mean Amy is ready. Ready to step forward into a new life. Not just for herself, but for Lyndy too. More clues popped up in behind-the-scenes interviews. One of the producers teased, "There's a major emotional moment coming in the second half of the season. One that will change everything for Amy." When asked directly about marriage, the showrunner only smiled and said, "Let's just say, Amy's heart is beginning to dream again." Even the official Heartland social media accounts joined the fun, posting a picture of Amy and Nathan by the fence with the caption, "A new journey begins where the old one left off." Is this real? Is marriage truly on the horizon for Amy and Nathan? Or are the writers playing with our hearts again? One thing is clear, something big is coming. And it's not just about love, it's about choice, healing, starting again, with the whole family watching. And hoping. Amy has always been strong, but being strong doesn't mean you're ready. And marriage, that's not just about love, it's about trust, about letting someone into your heart when it's already been broken once. That's the question season 19 has quietly been asking. Is Amy truly ready to say yes again, not just to a man, but to a new future? For years, Amy's world was frozen in time. Her heart belonged to Ty, her dreams were built with him. Even after his death, she held on to those dreams, even if only in memory. She raised Lyndy alone, carried the family legacy, and kept her emotions buried. But now, something has shifted. She's not just smiling more, she's allowing herself to feel again. Not for the past, but for the present. Nathan hasn't rushed her. That's part of what makes this story so believable. He hasn't asked for more than she can give. He just shows up calm, consistent, kind. And that has made all the difference. Amy didn't need a whirlwind romance. She needed someone who made her feel safe again. Someone who saw her not just as the widow of Ty Borden, but as Amy Fleming, a woman with dreams still left to chase. But readiness isn't just about her, it's about Lyndy too. Every decision Amy makes now includes her daughter. And Lyndy's joy around Nathan has been undeniable. She laughs more. She hugs him without fear. She talks about him the way a child talks about someone who makes their world better. Amy sees that. She sees how peaceful Lyndy is when Nathan's around. And that matters more than anything else. Still, there's hesitation. Amy's not the kind of woman to leap blindly. She weighs everything. She remembers the pain of loss, the fear of falling again. But the moments keep stacking, those quiet walks, shared chores, glances that say more than words. She's not running anymore, she's just breathing. So, what's next? The second half of season 19 could be the turning point. All signs point to something big, a decision that could change everything. Fans are torn. Some think Amy will say yes to Nathan if he proposes. Others believe she pull back, needing more time. And maybe that's what makes this story so compelling. It's honest. Real love takes time. Especially after deep loss. Heartland has never been about fairy tales. It's about real life. About finding beauty in broken places. If Amy chooses marriage again, it won't be because she forgot it'll be because she finally believes she can love someone else without letting go of him. That's not a betrayal, that's growth. Nathan knows this. That's why he's not pushing. He's building a life near hers, not demanding a place in it. And Amy, she's starting to lean in. Maybe not with loud declarations, but with open doors, longer talks, and softer eyes. Marriage might be closer than we think. Or maybe not. But one thing's for sure, Amy's journey isn't stuck in the past anymore. It's moving forward. And whether that leads to wedding bells or simply a stronger bond, fans will be there, rooting for her. Not because she's in love again, but because she finally allowed herself to hope again. And in Heartland, hope is the beginning of every new story.